Man, a lot of people online aren't used to being exposed with fictional stories like this. Here's the Nendroid of Anya from mouthwashing. How many times did mouthwashing get to the Hoopla's radar again? How is it possible that this excellent little indie horror game garners so many clueless people in the fandom? Has to be the most unserious people in the universe. You really made this a faceplate? Apparently, yes, she's a fictional character who suffered through a horrific tragedy of abuse and sexual assault, and the Nendroid is her when she overdosed on meds. I'd argue that this Nendroid shouldn't exist because this whole event is a spoiler, but because Nendroid spoiled it to everyone, I might as well discuss it without warning. She's fictional, and it's based on things that happen in real life. You know what else also happens in real life? Street fights.
You're pushing your luck, pal.
If you think this is okay, at least keep distance from people that are discomfortable with this. You mean uncomfortable. Discomfort is a word, but discomfortable is not. But putting that aside, I do agree that we should keep a distance, but it's not because you're uncomfortable with us, it's because you are delusional. You cannot distinguish between fiction and reality, and people in general should avoid you. I think making a Nendroid of a woman's suicide who's killing herself because she doesn't want to have her rapist baby is bad, actually. That's fine, that's your opinion, but there's a difference between it's morally bad and it's in poor taste. You can argue that it's in poor taste, but it's not immoral. This is a long essay for a controversial Nendroid. The Anya Nendroid stuff is pissing me off because no one is discussing the context of why this in particular has upset so many people. The context is irrelevant because Anya is a fictional character. There are many fictional characters out there who have gotten worse than her. Heck, the fact that Curly can survive months in that condition is downright miraculous. But unfortunately, the game depicts Anya's story way too well. And I guess people are more sensitive to female characters suffering than the literal freaking bandage mummy. The entire game is very on the nose about the fact that it's about rape culture with a side of capitalistic exploitation. No, the game doesn't revolve around Anya's abuse. The game revolves around the struggles of the whole crew after the incident and what caused the incident to begin with. Granted, the incident was in result of the sexual abuse, and there are themes of capitalist exploitation, but that's like saying Batman Begins is about the death of Bruce Wayne's parents. Yes, that kickstarts his whole journey, but that's only one part of the many stories that it tells. With all of that laid out explicitly, can people understand now why people are upset over a cutesy figure depicting her dead body? I can understand why people will be upset. My point is that this isn't something that's worth getting upset over. Whatever happens in that story is still a fictional story. You might as well get upset that Jack Marston is getting his ass beat. Her dead body after it's been propped up by her abuser, especially because she's the only figure, or are we gonna continue to be purposefully dense? The only person who is dense here is you. You are unable to grasp the fact that she is a fictional character. The game itself is fiction, and the game itself is also doing all those horrible things to Anya and many other characters in the game. Wouldn't it be nice for the game to do nice things for her instead of doing all those horrible things? It would be, but then there wouldn't be a horror story to tell for our own entertainment, for us to feel and relate to the characters. And they're using Anya as a prop for that. Don't you find that messed up? Or are you just gonna limit that outrage to Nendroid? I absolutely love mouthwashing. It is a fantastic game, but people are attached way too close to their characters. And speaking of horror games in this wonderful month of Halloween, here's another hoopla about horror games. There's an interview conducted with the people at GOG on reviving classic games like Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil, the one with the FMVs and all that. And then there's this segment that I find incredibly interesting. A year ago, GOG released Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 Nemesis on the platform, not the remakes, the original games. Capcom responded and they're like, we have all of those remakes. It's already the superior experience to those games. The superior experience? Have you not played Resident Evil 3 Remake and how it absolutely stripped out a lot of bits from the original? What about Resident Evil 4 Remake and how it stripped plenty of the great bits from the original? This is speaking as someone who loves the remake, and even so, I still have to admit that while the remake is excellent in its own ways, nothing beats the influence of the original. Remakes are never going to replace the original. Persona 3 Reload is about as close as you can get to the story of Persona 3, but nothing replaces the experience of the original game, and especially the portable version that my brother is playing on his phone. Metal Gear Solid Delta is about as close to a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 as it gets, but it's never gonna replace the charm of the original. Capcom didn't bother to care for the original games, but I am glad that the community does. As much as I love Remake 1, Remake 2, Remake 4, Remake 3 is okay, but you will never convince me that these remakes will replace the original. Capcom doesn't care much about their legacy games. Microsoft doesn't care. Period. I'm still in disbelief that Xbox is giving up, and I think we can see how Xbox totally gives up with this promotion. If you're reading this, you're reading on an Xbox. Yes, Xbox declared every electronic device in the universe as an Xbox. Xbox is a console, but it can also be in your TV, your laptop, your smartphone, your portable gaming gear, all that stuff. They've done this for a while now, and I still hate it. It's all Xbox now, and it's lumped in together into something that isn't that exciting. I absolutely hate the sentiment of this promotion because Xbox is no longer a brand that represents something unique. Xbox is now a part of everything. It's so accessible. It's so streamlined that you don't even need the console at all. You just need a device that can reasonably run it. It's honestly sad to me that Xbox goes down like this. There are even reports of certain retailers dropping and no longer selling Xbox stuff. Not all of them, but enough to be concerned. No other AAA gaming console can compete with the PlayStation right now. PC doesn't really count because Xbox has integrated itself into PC, and so is PlayStation for that matter, although not as much. The point is, people are losing their faith on Xbox, and I don't think Microsoft is gonna do much to salvage it. Anyway, this next hoopla is about gaming, but it's not related to the previous one, and yet, it's still funny. I am baffled that people are seeing everything through a political lens. Battlefield 6, not one woke trope in sight. Gaming is healing! Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of seeing everything in a woke or not woke perspective. It doesn't tell me anything. Someone could say woke and they mean it's preachy, like in Life is Strange 2. Or they could say woke because someone just so happened to be gay in there. Stop labeling things as woke or not and just be direct. What are the problems? They got me. They freaking hit it. All the marketing buried this stuff. Sneaky. Buried? Sneaky? Seriously? It's EA! They made Battlefield 5, where there are loads of women fighting in World War II. Did you miss the whole everyone's Battlefield thing where they showed people's anti-feminist messages? It is, however, very interesting that the pro-women progressive EA is receiving funding from Saudi Arabia, who are notoriously not very friendly towards women's rights. Players are complaining about gender-locked characters and how audio is full of women screaming during firefights. You are forced into being female for some roles. Wait. Doesn't that mean that Battlefield 6 is a game that lets you kill women and maybe hear them scream in agony? That's not very progressive, isn't it? This is the Assassin's Creed Syndicate situation all over again, where the game tries to be more progressive by including women, except the women are also the enemies, so now you can absolutely beat the crap out of them. Heck, we don't even have to go that far. Battlefield 5 also features women prominently in World War II. Regardless of the historical accuracy, nobody on EA ever thought that the number of women being shot and killed in games has exponentially risen thanks to game developers letting gamers play as them and including them more in games. Oh, and some of those women are disabled too. So congratulations, video game industry. In an effort to make your industry more welcoming to women, you are giving gamers more opportunity to kill them, beat them up, and do all sorts of horrible things to them.
How progressive.
Some people just cannot handle the rainbow colors. It was fun while it lasted. Uninstalling Battlefield. Well, to quote Eazy-E from Straight Outta Compton, the truth is, you can do whatever you want with that game. You bought it. No, seriously though, are people so sensitive these days that the mere presence of a rainbow gun is enough to get these people to uninstall the game? This is assuming that the gun exists, because according to community notes, this is an AI-generated gun. So the guy is getting outraged at something that doesn't even exist in the game. But hey, let's entertain the hypothetical and say that this gun did exist in the game. If you are a homophobic bigot, this gun existing in the game is a good thing, because by playing this game, you'll have the opportunity to kill players who think that coloring their gun like that is a good idea. That is assuming that these homophobic bigots are good enough to play Battlefield 6. I personally think we shouldn't let players express their politics in a game where most of the objective is to shoot and kill other players. A virtual war zone where players are killing each other is not the right place to be expressing real political issues, especially when other players can kill you or teabag your corpse. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.